Welcome to Unmasking Evil, the chilling story of the Green River Killer. Prepare to delve into the dark depths of one of America's most notorious serial killers, Gary Ridgway, also known as the Green River Killer. Join us on this harrowing journey as we peel back the layers of his crimes, uncover the chilling details, and attempt to understand the mind of a predator. Gary Ridgway was born in Salt Lake City, Utah, and grew up in a troubled household. He had a difficult childhood with a domineering mother and a strained relationship with his father. Ridgway exhibited behavioral problems from a young age and struggled with low self-esteem. He had a fascination with violence and began a pattern of sexually assaulting animals during his teenage years. Crimes. Ridgway's killing spree occurred primarily between 1982 and 1998 in and around the Seattle, Washington area. He targeted vulnerable young women, primarily sex workers and runaways. Ridgway would pick up his victims, engage in sexual acts with them, and then strangle them to death. He would often dump the bodies in wooded areas, leading to the nickname Green River Killer due to the initial location where many victims were found. Modus operandi. Ridgway targeted vulnerable women working in the sex trade, taking advantage of their precarious situations. He would approach them, offering money for sex, and then take them to secluded areas to commit the crimes. Ridgway would strangle his victims using various methods, primarily with his hands or ligatures. After killing them, he would dump their bodies in remote locations, making it difficult for law enforcement to find and identify them. Investigation and capture. The investigation into the Green River Killer spanned many years and involved multiple law enforcement agencies. Ridgway was initially a suspect early on in the investigation, but managed to avoid detection due to a lack of evidence. However, advances in forensic technology, DNA analysis, and the dedication of investigators eventually led to his arrest in 2001. Ridgway later confessed to a significant number of murders and provided valuable information to help locate and identify his victims. Trial and conviction. In 2003, Gary Ridgway pleaded guilty to 48 counts of murder as part of a plea agreement to avoid the death penalty. He cooperated with investigators and provided details about his crimes and the locations where he disposed of his victims' bodies. Ridgway was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Psychological profile. Gary Ridgway displayed traits consistent with psychopathy, including a lack of empathy, manipulative behavior, and a distorted sense of morality. He was able to blend into society, appearing as an ordinary, mild-mannered man, which allowed him to avoid detection for an extended period. Ridgway's ability to manipulate and exploit vulnerable individuals, coupled with his violent sexual fantasies, drove his murderous behavior. Legacy. The case of Gary Ridgway and the Green River Killer represents one of the most prolific and disturbing serial murder cases in American history. It highlighted the vulnerability of marginalized communities and the challenges faced by law enforcement in investigating such complex cases. The investigation and subsequent conviction of Ridgway also brought closure to the families of his victims and shed light on the importance of forensic advancements in solving cold cases. It is crucial to remember that Ridgway's crimes caused immeasurable pain and suffering to his victims and their loved ones. The study of his life and actions should always be approached with sensitivity and respect for those affected by his heinous acts. Here are a couple of theories surrounding Gary Ridgway, also known as the Green River Killer. Childhood trauma and rejection theory. One theory suggests that Ridgway's troubled childhood, characterized by a domineering mother and strained family dynamics, played a significant role in shaping his later behavior. It is theorized that his upbringing contributed to feelings of rejection, low self-esteem, and a desire for power and control. These unresolved issues from his formative years may have manifested in violent and destructive ways, leading to his brutal acts of murder. Killer versus victim fantasy theory. Another theory explores the idea that Ridgway's crimes were driven by a twisted fantasy where he desired to exert complete dominance and control over his victims. It is postulated that Ridgway's deep-seated feelings of inadequacy and powerlessness fueled his need to assert control through acts of violence and murder. By transforming his victims into objects of powerlessness and fulfilling his own fantasies of control, he derived a sense of satisfaction and power, reinforcing his deviant behavior. These theories aim to provide possible insights into the motivations and psychological factors that may have influenced Ridgway's actions. It is important to note that the study of serial killers is complex and multifaceted, and these theories are not definitive explanations for his crimes. Understanding the true motivations and underlying psychological complexities of serial killers can be challenging, as their actions often defy rational explanation. The case of Gary Ridgway continues to be subject to analysis and study in the field of criminology, as experts strive to gain further insights into the mind of a killer. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey into the dark realm of serial killers. We hope this video has provided you with valuable insights and a deeper understanding of these complex and haunting figures. If you found this content thought-provoking and informative, we would greatly appreciate your likes, comments, and shares